Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I want to thank the witnesses and your willingness to serve. Ms. Smith, when did you review the Memorandum of Understanding?
Earlier this week, Senator.
On Monday, or?
I believe it was Monday.
Is your security clearance higher than that of a United States Senator?
I can't answer that question. I don't know what your security clearance is.
Okay. I appreciate the fact, Mr. Chairman, that now we have the opportunity to review that Memorandum of Understanding, but I think the point of my question is, as a nominee to be ambassador, I think you should certainly be able to review that, but I think we should have been as well, and we simply were not until apparently late last night.
I would like to make this commitment to you, Mr. Senator. If I am confirmed, I will be delighted to consult with you and any of the members of the committee and your staffs as closely and regularly as you like.
You, in your testimony, you said we are confident that the security measures that have been put in place, including restrictions placed on the activities of the individuals, will substantially mitigate any threat that the individuals may pose to our national security. Did you, by any chance, see the video of the celebration as these 5 detainees were welcomed at Qatar?
I didn't see the video. I saw reports about it.
You should review that. It doesn't look like a particularly restrictive environment to me.
If I'm confirmed, we're going to be focused on our national security, and we will be looking at not only the directly threatening types of things they could be doing, but things that constitute propaganda and that constitute that type of thing.
Because I was not able to take a look at the Memorandum of Understanding, I will go down and I will look at it. Can you tell me, were there restrictions in terms of public displays for propaganda purposes within that Memorandum of Understanding? In other words, has Qatar already violated that based on your understanding?
I think the best thing that I can say here is that there will be restrictions on some of the activities of those individuals. I'd be delighted to consult with you again in a different setting.
Okay. Ambassador Beecroft, how would you assess, or how would you describe the result that's occurring in Iraq now after we have withdrawn all of our combat forces? How's that going?
Well, Iraq is facing a very, very severe challenge from terrorist groups, particularly the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. And it has suffered setbacks. If there's a silver lining in this, it's that we're seeing Iraqis over the past few days start to pull together in ways they haven't before, overcome sectarian divides. We've seen the Kurds and Baghdad start to talk to each other, start to cooperate on the battlefield, and we've seen Iraq putting together a conference for Sunnis to reconcile with as many Sunni groups as possible and engage them in the fight. So it's an uphill battle. It's a struggle. We're doing what we can to help them in ways of providing assistance for military equipment, military weapons, ammunition, providing training, and providing, sharing as much intelligence as we can with them to fight this battle.
But again, I mean, just kind of a one-word, couple-word assessment of the result. Success?
On the battlefield, it's very, very difficult. It cannot be considered a success. It's a huge challenge.
Ambassador Jones, what would you describe the result after our pullout of all combat troops in Iraq?
Thank you, Senator. As Ambassador Beecroft just characterized, I think the government of Iraq continues to face a severe threat from ISIL, which has now penetrated Iraq through the influx of foreign fighters across the Syrian border as a result largely, though not exclusively, of course, of the Syrian civil war. The ISIL poses a significant threat not only to Iraq but to Iraq's neighbors. And I think the United States has a commitment to support Iraq and its security, and we will continue to work through the measures that Ambassador Beecroft just outlined to try to support the Iraqi security forces in this challenge that they face.
Now that we've seen Fallujah, Mosul fall to basically elements of al-Qaeda, now that we've seen the Iraqi security forces shed their uniforms, go door to door, getting civilian clothes so they could meld into the population, do you see any silver linings?
I think what Ambassador Beecroft said was that I think the escalation of the threat posed by ISIL is having an impact in Baghdad of drawing the political factions more closely together. And I think in the last 72 hours, we've seen a series of meetings where the various political elements are coming together and drawing up plans and looking for ways to cooperate for the national security.
So do you expect the Iraqi security force now to turn the tide and be able to capture back Fallujah and Mosul?
We certainly hope for that outcome, and I think it's incumbent on the United States to support that outcome.
You're obviously going to Iraq, and God bless you for being willing to serve. You said there are 5,300 U.S. personnel in Iraq. Are they going to be safe?
That's a very good question, Senator, and thank you for your kind words. The compound, as mentioned earlier, I was the deputy chief of mission in Baghdad from 2010 through 2011, and I've worked in that compound. We've taken extraordinary measures to ensure the safety and protection of our personnel. We're going to have to make sure and be vigilant to maintain those. We can't stay behind the walls. We have to be out. And I know that Ambassador Beecroft is out frequently to meet with Iraqi contacts in Baghdad and other parts of the country. So we're going to have to do the best we can to reduce the risks and ensure that we can both do our jobs and stay safe.
Can you tell me of the 5,300 personnel, how many are really security forces, and are those military personnel? Are those State Department?
Yeah, it's a complicated question. I'd love to go into the details with you in another setting, but
okay.
Suffice to say that we have a significant number of diplomatic security officers who are State Department officers. We also have, of course, the Marine security guards, and then we also have contract guards who are assigned to protect the perimeter. So it's a significant number, and I'd be happy to get back to you with the details.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. And again, I wish you Godspeed and safety and best of luck, but I hope the security of yourself and those serving with you on the ground in Iraq is your top priority.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.